What is up, geeks of YouTube? I am Damien.
I am Tracy.
And welcome to our fantasy life. This is episode 4 of the Geek Weekly, and today we're going to talk about Yoshitaka Amano designing a Magic card.
Mortal Kombat 11 reviews coming in.
And a new Switch Mini as soon as June. That's exciting. Yeah. The Geek Weekly starts right now. So, yeah, lots to talk about. First of all, you guys might notice a little bit of a different intro. First thing is we're using our real names. The second thing you guys probably noticed is there is somebody with me on this episode. Tracy has decided to join us on the Geek Weekly.
Yeah.
My lovely and awesome co-host, if I do say so myself.
Oh, thank you.
So, let's jump right into the news, because we do have a lot to talk about this week. Now, the biggest news, I think, for us wasn't gaming related, but it is kind of board gaming related. Magic the Gathering, Yoshitaka Amano of Final Fantasy fame has designed a Magic card, the alternate art for, I guess, Liliana, Dreadhorde General. Now, if I'm being 100% honest, I haven't really played Magic the Gathering in a long time, even though I played it for like 15 or 18 years. I played it since launch.
You were a really big fan.
For a long time, yeah. It just got to the point where between video gaming and board gaming and then Magic on top of that and the randomization of the packs, it just got to the point where I couldn't keep up anymore. But I have been playing Magic the Gathering Arena, which is online. And I like that because you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do it on a Friday. You can kind of jump in and play at your leisure. So that's been pretty cool. But I did see in Magic the Gathering Arena that their newest expansion, War of the Spark, comes out in May. And it looks like in Magic the Gathering Arena, they're doing it day and date with the physical release. So that's really cool because it makes me think that these alternate art cards are actually going to be in the game as well. No, wait, you've never... Oh, well, you did play once.
Oh, we played a couple times. And so
you want to tell that story?
Finn was, Damien was introducing me to Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
So we went to our local card shop. And we just got the starter packs. And I chose the fire starting pack, yes. The red starting pack.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, we'll just take it slow. We'll take it slow. Nice and easy. We've played, what, 3 games?
3 games,
Three games total? Who won all 3 games?
That's beside the point. It's not who won the games.
I won all 3 games.
It's how much fun you had.
No, I was that awesome. I mean, I had a really great teacher, but I owe it all to that Shivan Dragon.
Yeah, that was your powerhouse. Yeah, the blue deck that they gave me did not have the same level of cards, but you actually did really, really good.
Thank you.
But you're a long-time board gamer, so I don't know why I don't know why I took it easy on you. So we might have to get on Arena and actually play for real now.
Yes.
But anyways, back to the news here. So yeah, Yoshitaka Amano is designing a Magic card along with a lot of other Japanese artists. Now on the Magic website, I couldn't find the names of any of those other artists. I'm guessing Yoshitaka Amano is like the largest one, but the way it's all breaking down is in this War of the Spark, there are 36 brand new Planeswalkers. And Planeswalkers, for those of you that don't play, are kind of like the staple cards of the set. They're really powerful, kind of alternate player cards that once they hit the board, they do something really impactful. Previously, they had all been at this really high rarity called Mythic. And they were only really available maybe 1 out of every 12 or 20 packs, or I don't know what the math is. But now there's going to be a Planeswalker in every pack, and they're from uncommon all the way up to Mythic.
Wow.
So you can get really common ones, you can get really uncommon ones, rare ones, you can get some that are less powerful, some that are more powerful. And in Japan, Wizards has actually done alternate art for every single one, working with a different Japanese artist. Now, Yoshitaka Amano, of course, is working on one of the most iconic ones, and that's Liliana, right? So Liliana has kind of become the poster child.
Yeah.
Jace was for a little while. If those of you that play Magic know that Jace was kind of the poster child for a while. Now it looks like Liliana is. And of course, they've given that artwork to him. So
I'm excited to see all of the artwork.
Yeah, the artwork is up on the website.
Yeah.
I looked at it a little bit, but
I want to see it in person.
In person, yeah. Now that's the other thing is I don't know how much of these cards are going to cost because they're only available in Japan in the packs, but it says that somehow they're going to be available worldwide, and that more details are coming later. Now we know Yoshitaka Amano from Final Fantasy. Yeah.
I love his artwork.
I do remember we saw that book of his.
Yeah.
So we saw an art book while we were visiting in Japan. And for some reason we didn't buy. Why did we not buy that?
Because it was all in Japanese, and we're like, oh, well, we're not going to get the full use out of it. I was like, I want to look at the pictures. But we decided against it.
We decided against it, but it had, Yoshitaka Amano has his concept artwork. Now, I didn't know this, but he actually stopped doing artwork for Final Fantasy with Final Fantasy VI. in terms of the concept artwork, which I guess I knew but didn't remember. But the logos and concept artwork he has continued to do. And then there's a connection to us. They were Final Fantasy XIV. Omega, the two characters, were designed by him and actually are the closest representation, I guess, to his artwork in a game. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that might actually, that kind of put Magic the Gathering back on my radar, along with Arena, which you can play online. And I might put a link. I'm really bad at doing this. I'm going to stop promising links in the description. But I'm going to try and put a link in the description to Arena and then to this news article showing all the different artwork, because they do have the full breakdown there. But pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have
the Mortal Kombat 11 reviews.
Oh my goodness.
So overall, the reviews appear to be bombing. So Mortal Kombat is getting various types of reviews from various outlets. So Mortal Kombat 11 has a 2.7 user review score on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's no way it's a 2.7. Like, just based on the artwork that I saw and like the... Now, okay, so I don't really like Mortal Kombat style games. I like the Street Fighter style games.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, so I played Injustice, right? And I know I'm interrupting the story here, but I played Injustice. We played Injustice 2 a little bit. I saw the visuals of it on YouTube. It just looks alone. It can't be a 2. It looks like a 4 just on graphics.
Right.
So,
but apparently it's not the graphics that's the issue.
Oh, what's the main issue?
So the main issue is it's now politics are being brought up into the game.
Okay.
So a lot of people are upset because apparently, and we quote from a user down here, that nearly all the male characters are bare-chested while the females are covered from head to toe.
Okay.
So apparently people are now upset that women are...
And that's from a review online?
That's from a review online.
Okay.
So apparently guys aren't too happy with this.
Well, I mean, for that guy, there's Dead or Alive. Go play Dead or Alive, or go play Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
And wait, not all the males are bare-chested. So there's Sub-Zero. He's got a full chest plate on. Scorpion has a full chest plate on. Raiden, however you want to say it, he's got full clothing on. So wait, what does he mean all the males are bare-chested? I don't get that.
I think he's just really upset that all the females aren't scantily clad anymore.
Okay. I mean, I looked into it a little bit. Obviously, I didn't do the same research that you did. You went into it a lot more than I did. But I did see something about, like, so the critic score is really high. It's like 80-something%.
Yes.
The user score is like 2.7. And I didn't see a lot of specifics. I guess you found a couple of specifics there. I didn't see a lot of specifics on the gameplay. I did see stuff like that. Like, oh, Mylena, the half-naked girl, is not in there anymore, so I'm not going to buy this. Or like, I guess one of the storylines, Jax, one of the characters, he like ends his, well, spoilers real quick. Let me say spoilers, because I guess one of the endings is Jax goes back in time and like ends slavery or something. I don't know. Did you find that at all? Or
no, I didn't look into it too much. I was just reading the reviews.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess one of the things was like Jax ends slavery using his time travel powers.
Yeah.
And people were so upset by that. And I'm like, wait, is this where we're at in gaming? Like, we're upset that he uses his time travel powers to end slavery, so we're not going to buy that game? Like, are we just outright saying that now? Like, that's crazy.
And I guess there is another reason. So some users cite microtransactions and the loot grind as negatives.
Okay, that's fair. That one's fair.
That I totally get.
Yeah, microtransactions and like this insane grind of like, well, if you buy this skin, it's $1, or you can grind for like 2 or 3 weeks to get the same thing. I'm like, wait, how much is my time worth? Like, that's crazy. I was watching a Angry Joe show, and he was talking about this one game where it was like 1,200. I think it was Dead or Alive. If you want all the skins, all the packs, all the DLC, it's something like $1,300 or something like that. And I guess the way the companies rationalize it is not everybody is going to buy everything. Yeah. But if you want the full game, you have to spend $1,300. Like,
there's completionists out there. A lot of people are completionists.
Yep.
I'm a completionist.
Yeah.
I will grind everything.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Well, I think it works out for us because you don't like the grinding. I like grinding. So you'll do the harder stuff, like the mini games, and I'll just do all the leveling.
I like the challenges. You like the grinding. Yeah. So that works out for us. But $1,300, and I don't know what the cost is of the total Mortal Kombat. I'm sure we'll hear about it soon. But Angry Joe is totally right there when he was talking about $1,300 or $1,400 for a game.
That's crazy.
When you used to pay $60 and get unlockable skins and alternate looks, and we talked about Street Fighter. Street Fighter, you would just hit a different button, and boom, you got a new color. You know, that's all. Like palette swaps and stuff like that. But they've done this. They've slowly pushed to where now a new costume is like $12 or something.
Gosh.
You know, that's crazy.
Well,
So,
a lot of companies are doing that now. So everything has DLC now where you
Yeah.
have to pay, and most of it is different costumes
Yeah.
or just something silly, but you want it.
yeah,
And
it brings the game to life in a different way. So
Yeah.
you do want it, but at the same time, it's like you got to kind of vote with your wallet and
Yeah.
say, no, I don't want to pay this much money for
Yeah.
this stuff. So yeah. Oh, I see here you put another. So there's another one. What happened to what used to be the most politically incorrect game? Instead of hot girls and sexy outfits, we get an agenda-filled political SJW fest. As far as I could tell from the reviews, it was one storyline
Yeah.
that has this thing where he goes back and ends slavery. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand that. I understand the complaints against...
are people just like for slavery now? Is this what's happening?
I guess so. I guess gamers, #gamers for slavery. That's what we're seeing now.
So we're going backwards.
That's crazy to me that people are actually putting that in the review.
Yeah.
Now, and like I said, the microtransactions and the loot grind I get, but the SJW stuff, like, and even so, after we talked about this in the pre-show here, I went and I looked at some of the costumes, like Katana, the blue girl
Yeah.
with the fans. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's still super revealing. Like,
It's
she's
not
got the
as
whole
revealing,
cutout and stuff.
But they were saying it's realistic. It's not realistic.
Oh no! Oh, it's realistic.
She's more covered than usual.
Yeah.
But she's still not realistic.
And she's throwing bladed fans like 30 feet away, chopping off people's heads. I'm like, yeah,
That's realistic.
That totally seems realistic to me.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I do that. I mean, you do that on a daily basis at work.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I get
totally
paid for.
realistic. So yeah, I don't agree. I mean, I don't know what your final verdict is. My final verdict on that is look, if it's microtransactions, yeah, maybe it's a 5 or a 6 out of 10, just based on what I've seen. And again, I have to play it, but we have so much stuff in our lineup that I haven't gotten a chance to play it.
Yeah.
But the microtransactions, I agree. The costume design and stuff like that, because there's so many other games you can go to if you want that kind of stuff. They can't find any sympathy with me.
Personally, I do like the costume design.
I liked it.
I think they're really well done.
I thought Scorpion looks awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Katana looks awesome.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero, I love Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
And then
Who
they
doesn't?
just revealed Frost. I thought Frost was super cool. Even though she kind of looks like Killer Frost from DC. I was like, okay, we're all right, whatever.
Still pretty.
Yeah, she's still really cool. I thought the costume designs were cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I mean, what's your final verdict on that?
I mean, I've never really played those games that much.
Yeah.
I played them a long time ago, but that's not really my thing anymore. So just looking at it, it looks nice. How the ending goes, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But people getting upset over a storyline where it ends slavery, like that's just silly.
To me, that's just kind of silly.
But the microtransactions, yeah, I agree. I totally get where it's getting too much.
They are getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Microtransactions are getting out of hand. Angry Joe calls it the corporate commander. So, sorry to steal from you there, Joe, but yeah, I like that phrase.
That's awesome.
Corporate commander. Okay. And our last story of the night, Tracy, you want to take it away?
Yeah. So this is exciting. So 2 new Switches are going to be coming out hopefully soon.
Okay.
One of them definitely by the end of June, which
June.
is actually coming up really soon.
Yes, okay.
And so that one's going to be a smaller, cheaper model. Then the other one isn't actually in the works yet, but there is going to be a more powerful one eventually that comes out.
I'm on board with the more powerful one.
Yeah.
Now, a Switch Mini, they kind of did the same thing with the DS Lite and all those sorts of things. They had the 2DS eventually, where it was a less expensive point of access for people that maybe didn't want to run out and buy a 3DS at whatever the price point was at the time. But I'm all about the more powerful one. Yeah.
Yes.
So, is there any other details or anything, or is that
Not yet. So they haven't officially named anything yet. So people are calling it either the Switch Mini or the Switch Lite.
Switch
and
Lite,
then for the bigger one, the Switch Pro. Or it could be like the new Nintendo Switch, right?
the new Nintendo Switch Pro Lite.
LL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But,
I can go for that. Yeah.
But I'm kind of interested in the mini one, just because if it's going to be a smaller, cheaper one, the Joy-Cons aren't going to detach.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I saw some prototypes of a non-detached, which does kind of make sense because with the 2DS, they did something very similar where they removed, they kept the 2 screens, but they removed the fold.
Yeah.
They removed, I think, some of the Wi-Fi features or something. I don't know too much about what they took off except the fold.
Yeah.
But then they came out with the 2DS LL or 2DS XL, which did bring the fold back, but it was less expensive plastic, it was less expensive screens and things like that. So they have a track record of doing that, and it's worked for them before.
Yeah.
And by them I mean Nintendo. They've gotten really good at that, at coming out with either split models or redesigned models or things like that. Yeah.
So if it doesn't attach, how are you going to put it in docked mode?
Well, I think you can still dock it as long as it's the same, but my anticipation would be they would come out with a Switch. So the whole cost of the Switch, if it's a value Switch or a budget Switch, has to be less with a controller than buying just an older Switch, right?
Right.
So my thinking would be they either bundle it with maybe they don't call it a Pro Controller, maybe like a Pro Controller Lite or something, but it's the Switch and a remote controller, as opposed to what it is now, where it's the Switch, a dock, and then the Joy-Con dock. It makes sense then, because and the reason I say that is because they did something similar with the new Nintendo 3DS. They removed the charger because they assumed that people were either upgrading or had a charger or could find a cheap charger somewhere.
Right.
So they might do the same thing. They might just make it the Switch Lite, and then you have to go find a third-party controller. Or I could see them...
They might not even dock at all.
They might not dock. Yeah, that's the other thing, is it might not dock. It might just be a Switch portable. That could be pretty cool.
Lighter weight one would be nice.
Yes.
Because after a while, the Switch does get heavy.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It does get... I mean, there's times where you kind of have to adjust yourself or when you're playing it. Like, it's not a 3DS where you can just flip it open and play for hours at a time.
Right.
Especially in the car. We'll play in the car sometimes, depending on who's driving, and it does get kind of like where you have to like rest it on your lap or something like that. But that's interesting. So these all are very interesting questions that you raise.
One other question for you.
Sure.
On the more powerful one, what other upgrades would you want for a Switch?
I would want for them what I think Apple does really well. I'd want an edge-to-edge display. I'd want longer battery life. I want it to be slightly thinner, unless it had a better graphics card, and then I don't mind the same thickness. And I wouldn't mind an $80 to $100 more price point. So when you think about it, like a PS4 Pro or something like that, it's a very niche device. And what I would want to see as well is I'd want to see the new Switch Mini, the Switch, the existing Switch, and then the Switch Pro all coexist. Right? So like you can still go out and buy a PS4, but then you can get the PS4 Pro if you really want it, if you're that 4K niche customer. I would want to see Nintendo do something similar, where they have the Switch, the existing Switch, maybe they do some more special editions or something like that. They have that Switch Mini for the kind of lower budget customer, and then they have the Pro for the higher end customer, like you and me, that are going to run out and buy a new Switch every year if they come out with one, right? So that would be pretty cool. What about you? What would you want to see?
I would love to see Bluetooth added to it.
Bluetooth, yes.
So you can use a pair of Bluetooth headphones.
Yes.
We have our Beats, and we can't use them with it. I know there's an adapter that you can go out and get that turns it into a Bluetooth device. So you can use it. But I would like it just included, so you don't have to fiddle with an adapter for it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Also, what I would really love is more interaction between the Switches. Because you see people out and about with their Switches sometimes. I would love it like how they had it on the 3DS, where you had the Street Pass. Street Pass,
yes. Yeah, I would love Street Pass. Or even something similar.
Yeah.
If it was like an app or something like that. Because the Switch seems like they kind of hedged their bets, right? The Switch has a touchscreen. Most people don't even know that it has a touchscreen because it doesn't come with a stylus, right? So, like, for example, we were going to do another story on Super Mario Maker. How are you going to do Super Mario Maker without a stylus? That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Even though it has a touchscreen, which they should be taking advantage of. That's another thing I'd want to see on a redesigned Switch is a built-in stylus that you can just pop out and
like
use the touchscreen. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
or the 2DS.
I'd want to see that. But yeah, I mean that's a really good point. I think the thing I would want to see most is a longer battery life.
Definitely.
Maybe not double, but like just an extra hour or two. I think would make a difference.
That's the number one thing I would agree on.
Yeah, because carrying around that extra battery it's handy. But it does get in the way sometimes. It does get in the way sometimes. So that's the thing I'd want to see is longer battery life, and the one problem that I have with the Switch is for me, sometimes I'll play on my lunch break at work in the car. I cannot see that screen. I have to contort myself into the shade, and like even in the shade sometimes it gets a glare on it or something like that. So I'd want to see a better panel on either the Pro and the Mini or just the Pro. But I would definitely want to see a better screen on it. So
I agree.
Nice. So a couple other things on that story that are semi-related. the Switch is doing gangbusters. Like, the Switch is selling like crazy. So it just makes sense for them to make more. 17.4 million Switch units in fiscal year 2018. That's crazy.
That's huge.
I'm almost positive, I'd have to double check on this, but I'm almost positive that makes it the fastest selling Nintendo console of all time, other than maybe the NES.
Yeah.
I almost want to say that makes it the fastest selling launch console of all time.
Wow.
But I'll have to check on that. We'll correct ourselves in the comments if that's not true. I think that is true, though. I think it's one of the fastest selling, not the best selling, but the fastest selling console of all time. Now, Nintendo hasn't made any official comment on anything, but with numbers like that, they'd be silly not to capitalize on that and start coming out with new hardware pretty rapidly, especially with all the developers on board. Have you played a lot of indie titles on yours? You played mainly like the big stuff.
Mainly the big stuff, like Pokemon.
Yeah. A lot of the Final Fantasy games.
A lot of the Final Fantasy, yeah.
The only indie games I think we played were like Hollow Knight. We played a little bit of that.
Hollow Knight.
Okay, so, and last but not least, Nintendo stock is soaring. So this is the other thing that makes me think that they are going to start working on new hardware, is this whole new cash flow based on them getting authorization to release in China, was it? Yeah, so China with Tencent Holdings. That's a huge market.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I'm sure that Chinese people are just like us into games and stuff like that. I don't know what the gaming landscape is in China.
I know that they have a super strict restriction on viewing or doing certain stuff.
Yeah, so to take it back to Magic the Gathering, a lot of Magic the Gathering cards had to actually change their artwork because you can't show zombies or skeletons or something like that.
Wow.
You can't show skulls or something.
Yeah.
So they had to like create entirely new cards just for the Chinese market.
Wow.
I don't know if gaming is the same way. I guess I'm just not too up to speed on what the restrictions are. So that's interesting to me. Is how much would they have to censor and stuff?
Yeah.
Because games like Doom, could a game like Doom be released in China? I don't know. Like Diablo 3? Yeah. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see. But it's a promising step, especially because of the relationship between Japan and China is very complicated on a number of levels. But hopefully this is kind of a first step into a better relationship between Nintendo and China. That would be really cool.
That's a pretty big step. So
any influx of cash that goes to Nintendo, I'm all for.
You're right.
Yeah, let's keep them going. Doug Bowser, if you're watching this, whatever we can do to make you more money, just let us know.
Well, I mean, that might be getting a little too much. Like,
send us free stuff.
Whoa.
What? Okay, so that is the news for this week. Thank you so much for joining us for another Geek Weekly. What did you guys think about this week's news? Are you guys going to be playing War of the Spark at your local Friday Night Magic? So you're going to be chasing down those Japanese alternate art cards, especially that Yoshitaka Amano card, which I'm sure is not going to be cheap.
It's going to be so pretty, though.
It's going to be so pretty. Mortal Kombat 11. Are you playing it, or are you staying away from it because of the SJW politics? And last but not least, the new Switch. Are you going to pick one up if they come out in June? Or are you like me and you're going to wait for that Switch Pro hardware or some kind of announcement there? Let us know in the comments. We love seeing you guys talk to us down there, and we try to respond to every single comment, either one of us. So interact with us. We love you guys. Well, last but not least, if you're new here, hit that like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit that bell icon so you know when videos like this go live. We try to do them every Wednesday. Sometimes they sneak in the Thursday because we have real life jobs that are taking up all of our time. But we're going to try and get a little more consistent for you. So hit that bell icon so that way you know when these videos go live. But until then, I have been Damien.
And Tracy.
And we will see you next week on the Geek Weekly. Take care.
Bye.
Until next week, I have been Finn.
And Tracy?
Nope.
Nope.
I have been Damien.